CNBC-TV18, embarking on a quarter century of excellence.
Stocks oscillate in a narrow band after 3 sessions of heady gains. Auto leads the gains today, while FMCG and metals drag. Midcaps outperform.
Network 18 plans to merge TV18 and E18 with itself to unify operations and drive content procurement and ecosystem synergies. Analysts see the move as a win-win to scale reach and revenues.
Paytm says that it is seeing good demand in higher ticket loans of rupees 3 to 7 lakh. And it is looking to reduce the loans of less than 50,000 rupees. Analysts see the shift impacting near-term growth for the company and its peers and partners.
Food Ministry officials tell CNBC-TV18 that there has been no decision so far to stop procurement of B-heavy ethanol by oil marketing companies. The proposal is still under discussion. The uncertainty spooks sugar stocks.
The finance minister says she doesn't want to be a spoilsport as the first Feb budget is just a vote on account, a budget to meet the expenditure till the next government comes to power. Hello and welcome. This is a special episode of Business Lunch today. As you can see, we are all dressed up and decked up in our studios and our newsroom celebrating our birthday. And from Pavitra, myself and the entire team of Business Lunch, we thank all our viewers for being part of this journey and always supporting us. So happy birthday, CNBC TV18. And Pavitra, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You know, it's been such a wonderful journey, right? All through the years, we've had the audience's support and loyalty as well. Yes. And here's to the next 25.
That's right. And equity markets, we shouldn't forget that that's been booming with so much action happening. That's the one action which is keeping us going all throughout. So let's focus on the equity market action today. The good news is that Nifty 50 is not too far away from its all-time highs, which it recently touched. But the bad news is that it is finding difficult to go above a certain level, still holding on to 20,900 levels. In a very tight range, there has been a little bit of volatility, and still it is on the flat line with a negative bias at the moment. So that's Nifty 50 just holding on to the 20,900 mark. Bank Nifty has been flirting with the red and green side, absolutely flat. And where is the real action coming in from for today is the mid-cap universe, almost 0.5% up, and that's also pumping up the market strength with advances on the higher side. On my screens, Bharti Airtel, because of the huge share supply, is one of the biggest percentage losers. Pavitra.
Oh, absolutely. You know what also stands out, that this entire CPSE pack, which has been doing very well, it continues to just build on gains, right? So for the week, the CPSE index is up 5%. You have a lot of those names, Power Grid, NTPC, which are continuing to move higher. The Adani group of stocks also doing well. On the downside, you're seeing, individual names such as Paytm that is under pressure today. You have the entire pack of sugar stocks because of their uncertainty that we were mentioning. So that entire pack is seeing some cuts as well. The financials have recovered a fair deal, but still trading with some cuts. It's been a 350-point recovery on the Nifty Bank. That's what's going on with the market action. We'll come back to this, but let's kickstart the show now. As CNBC TV18 enters its 25th year, we've been getting you the brightest and biggest minds in an exclusive conversation with us. ITC Sanjeev Puri says that the domestic economy is fairly resilient, but exports do remain a bit of a challenge. Speaking to Parikshit, he says that volume and margin have started to improve for the company. So listen in to some snippets of that conversation.
I think India is certainly has great potential, and India is today the fastest growing economy, and it is so because of a lot of purposeful interventions that have happened, policy making that has happened over several years. And I think what we are seeing is the fruits of that, whether it's the manner in which physical infrastructure has been built, the manner in which economy is empowered with the digital infrastructure, the health of the the financial sector, the health of corporate balance sheets, and the growing consumption in India. All of that are positives. Now, what are the risks is really to do with the external sector. It's to do with the fact that large parts of the world are not doing well. You spoke about China, and I think the concerns are certainly not only in that geography. The concerns are beyond that. The Western world is not facing a great growth. It's in fact there are risk of recessions and so on and so forth. And that's what's impacting our exports. So despite the fact that the external sector is weak, the Indian economy is doing well. In fact, Q2 GDP numbers are a testament to how well the economy is doing, and I think all that is a result of course, the spirit of enterprise in India, the resilience of people, but also, I think, enabled by a lot of very timely and purposeful policy interventions over several years. Right. And there's no doubt in my mind that India is going to emerge as a global economic powerhouse. It's already the 5th largest economy. Yeah. Before the end of this decade, it should be the 3rd.
What do you think is the consumption picture right now? Are you seeing consumption demand pick up here on?
So I think part of the answer was what I said in the beginning, that the domestic economy is fairly resilient. Of course, not all pockets are doing as well, and part of the impact is also because of the challenge we are facing with respect to exports and some of the after effects of inflation. And of course, India has managed inflation well, but it's not insulated from the rest of the world. Right. We're a relatively better place, but yes, we have faced the brunt of higher pricing.
Is it putting pressure on pricing, sir? Would you be forced to increase prices across?
No, inflation is an area that is now more under control than was there in the past. In fact, right now is a situation where in large areas the prices are actually being reduced, and you've seen it in the market across sectors. What I was referring to really is the after effects of a lot of inflation that has come over a period of time. Now we are seeing a situation where the commodities are cooling off, but they are still above, I would say, what they were pre-COVID. They were still above it, and a lot of it is again related to the external factors, and also the facet about the climate risk, the climate emergency, which is also causing its own bit of inflation.
Right. Now, in terms of volume growth and also in terms of margins, what would be your outlook?
We have seen that volume has started to move up, and because inflation is also been much more modest, so margins have also started to improve from Q2.
All right. My final question to you would be about CNBC-TV18's 25th anniversary, sir. You've, of course, been on the channel several times earlier. You've spoken to us often. What would be your thoughts and your message for CNBC-TV18?
I'd like to, first of all, congratulate you and everybody in CNBC for 25 years. I think it's an important milestone, and I think it's certainly a milestone to celebrate, because CNBC has done well. It has done well, aligned to very well its objectives on focusing on economic issues that matter for nation building. So I'd like to congratulate you and wish you the best for the next 25 and 50 years and 100 years.
Thank you.
All right, away from ITC, let's shift focus to one stock, which is the stock of the day for all the wrong reasons, for being under pressure this afternoon, following the company's management call yesterday and also brokerage views on the stock. Abhishek Kothari, our colleague, is right here to get us the key highlights of what's really impacting and putting pressure on Paytm today. Abhishek.
Well, to begin with, Paytm in the presentation did mention that there is good demand seen in higher ticket size loan, that is loans between 3 to 7 lakh ticket size in the low risk personal as well as merchant loans. In consultation with lending partners like Aditya Birla Finance, etc., Aditya Birla Capital, etc., they will reduce less than 50,000 ticket size of loans and expand into higher ticket size loan. So merchant loans that they give out is to MSME segment, and it is a secured loan. So it because it is a business loan and hence it does not get impacted from the RBI regulatory point of view. They'll continue to build on loan distribution business, and they will expand their lending partner base. One large bank and two NBFCs in Q4 FY24 and in Q1 FY25. Now, Jefferies has written on Paytm they have a buy recommendation. Target price has been cut to 1,050 from 1,300 earlier. They said that the BNPL, buy now pay later recalibration, follows system tightening. So these disbursers, the BNPL disbursers, form about 55% of overall disbursers, and they will halve in next 3 to 4 months. So the impact on loan growth disbursers is for FY24 from 98% it comes down to 65%. For FY25 from 49% it comes down to 5%, and for FY26 it comes down from 43% to 27%. So the revenue cut estimate is between 3 to 10% for FY24 to FY26, and the impact on EBITDA adjusted for ESOP is at 14 to 16% over the next 3 years. So they also say that re-rating will take some time. Back to you.
Abhishek, thanks a lot for that 18% cut on Paytm today. It is time for a short break now, but when we return, an important story, TV18 and E18 will merge with Network 18. So we're going to bring you all of the details on this big consolidation when we come back.
Congratulations to CNBC, and you guys are the gold standard when it comes to business reporting. So I'm glad to be here and wish you guys another very successful 25 years from here on.
CNBC TV18, embarking on a quarter century of excellence.
Welcome back. You're watching Business Lunch. Now, as promised, TV18 broadcast and Network 18 are in focus after TV18 and E18 will merge with Network 18 in a mega consolidation exercise. My colleague Manglam Malu is joining us now with all the details of this deal. Manglam.
A mega media merger, that's exactly what is taking place. TV18 and E18 will consolidate with Network 18 in a merger to bring together the television, digital media and news dissemination operations under one umbrella itself. The idea here is to build a media powerhouse that combines the strengths of all the three giants to bring you an unparalleled multimedia experience. So to start with, let's tell you what the portfolio of each of these organizations or each of these companies encompasses. We have 20 news channels and in 16 languages, along with the CNBC-TV18.com website under TV18. Under Network 18, we have the News 18 platform across 13 languages and the insightful firstpost.com. E18 owns and operates the widely used Money Control app and the website, whereas Viacom, which remains a direct subsidiary of Network 18, offers a portfolio of 40 TV channels and Jio Cinema itself. And that's not all. Network 18 will also continue to hold its investment in the ever-popular Book My Show. Wondering about the numbers here? Well, let's tell you that as well. The merger ratio is set at 100 Network 18 shares for 172 TV18 shares, which is at par with the previous closing prices of these shares itself. And E18 shareholders will receive 19 shares of Network 18 for every 1 share that they hold. The best part, reported consolidated financials will remain unchanged. But there will be a slightly higher public shareholding of Network 18 post the merger, and that's where the big change happens. So promoter holding of Network 18 right now is 75%. Post-merger, it comes down to 57%. And as a result of which, public shareholding increases from 25% to 43.1%. So the question is, what could be the key rationale behind this integrated entity? Well, it promises not just news, but a seamless blend of cost and content synergies as well. From revenue synergies coming in through, bundled sales for options and also ad sales coming in, to cost synergies as well, which will be achieved through unified operations and content procurement. At the same time, the ecosystem synergies, which will come in with diverse offerings coming under one umbrella itself. The state would also be interested in how this entire piece plays out in the future with both the integrated internet and cable technologies of the parent group too. Obviously, as we're talking about this, the disclaimer is that TV18 is the entity that houses CNBC TV18, the channel that you're currently watching.
Okay, Manglam, thanks a lot for getting us all of those details on this big consolidation that we're going to see in the media space. We do need to get into a short break now, but there's lots more news and updates in just a bit. Stay tuned for that.
CNBC TV18, embarking on a quarter century of excellence. CNBC TV18, embarking on a quarter century of excellence.
Welcome back. You're still tuned into Business Lunch. Now, a lot of the sugar stocks are actually all of the sugar stocks are under pressure in today's trading session because there seems to be some uncertainty over how the government will move on ethanol. So we have Manisha joining us to take us through what's really going on with sugar. Manisha.
Well, yes, there have been lots of market talk about on how the government could be looking to limit ethanol production from cane juice and B-heavy ethanol there. The point is that this time around, we're looking at a lower sugar crop, down by nearly 8% as compared to the previous year, is the reason there's going to be no export of sugar as well. And the reports also do suggest that the government will want to focus on the sugar production, availability and pricing within the country, where we have seen prices also continue to rise up. But we have spoken to the Consumer Affairs Ministry and the Food Ministry as well, and the ministers there have told CNBC TV18 that as of now, no decision to reduce ethanol production has been taken, but the sources do tell us that there could be some proposal that is still under consideration, and you could hear about it in the days to come there. So that is what is keeping the markets quite jittery here. Let me also remind you that the sugar season for the country starts in the month of November, 1st of November that is. So for 2023-24, the ethanol guidelines and pricing are yet to come. There have been various tenders that have been floated. So what the street perhaps is looking at, that these tenders would be honored perhaps. But overall, the industry does not like this because there has been a lot of investment that has been done within for ethanol production. Because remember, there's a 15% target for this year and 20% until 2025. So a lot of sugar industry clearly has gone that way. This year, the focus could be on sugar. But remember, ethanol is a long developing story with what the government's vision has been. So there's a bit of a concern right now within the industry. But we haven't heard the last of it, and the expectation is that in the next couple of days or perhaps days going forward, we could be hearing on some kind of taper down or some kind of policy that could be coming out.
All right. Thanks so much, Manisha, for giving us all those details on this industry. Now, the upcoming budget, just a vote on account, says the Finance Minister, Nirmala Sitharaman. Now, speaking at the CII event, she said that she expects no speculation or speculative announcements or big announcements, spectacular announcements, I beg your pardon, coming in from 1st of Feb. So it will be a vote on account, especially also we know that it's the election year. Listen in to the Finance Minister.
I'm not going to play a spoiled sport, but it is a matter of truth that the 1st February 24 budget that will be announced will just be a vote on account, because we are in an election mode. An election happens during this summer, the coming summer. So the budget that the government presents will just be able to, or would just be a budget to meet with the expenditure of the government till a new government comes to play. So, and that budget, following the British tradition, is called vote on account. So no spectacular announcements are made at that time. So you may have to wait till after the new government comes in July, will be the next full budget, July 2024.
All right, that is the word from the Finance Minister. But with that, we're going to wind down in this edition of Business Lunch. Thank you all for tuning in. We have Midcap Radar up in 2.
CNBC TV18, embarking on a quarter century of excellence.